Hi, I'm Brickroad. Welcome to Let's Play Return of the Obra Dinn. This is a great game by the venerable Lucas Pope, creator of Papers, Please. A game that everybody thought was going to be terrible because it's about paperwork, and he's like, nah man, I got this. I can make a great game about paperwork. And then we're all like, wow, somebody made a fantastic game about paperwork. And so this game is about insurance claims. You play an insurance agent in Falmouth, England in 1807 because 4 years after the good ship Obra Dinn went missing somewhere off the coast of Africa, it floated back into port. And it's here now, and the East India Company needs to know why. So, that's our job. We're going to go aboard the Obra Dinn, find out what happened, and make an accurate account of the fates of every soul aboard the ship. And we're going to start by looking at these really interesting and trippy graphics. It's a fully 3D game, but you only get two colors. It's stark white and black that uses dithering rather than any kind of gradients. And here's the Obra Dinn. It's a wonderful ship, full of secrets and mysteries, and murder most foul, all kinds of intrigue, and these gross skeletons everywhere. There are gross skeletons all over the good ship Obra Dinn. I don't know what Obra Dinn means, and I could have looked it up, but I didn't. But you can look it up. You can Google it and let me know what it means in the comments. There's nothing we can do until... we asked our man down in the boat to hoist up our box, but he's going to be lazy and he's not going to do it. So, let's just wait a minute. We've got to chill out for a minute here. What? No? Okay. Hoi! There we go.
It's too heavy!
There are only two interactions in the game. The first interaction is you're able to grab a door handle and open a door. Unless there's an X on the door, then you can't open that door. Like this door we can open. And go inside. And it's a little room. It's got like a little bed. This is a passenger's quarters. This is what you got if you were a passenger aboard a ship like this. Back in the, back in the 19th century. Alright, so he can't hoist up our box because it's too heavy.
It's too heavy! Lift it yourself!
I'm coming, dude. Chill out. Don't worry, I got this.
It's too heavy.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Open it here.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and open it. What's in this incredibly heavy box this guy cannot open? A book. A book. With some very nice dithering on it, and an effect that I didn't notice my first couple times through the game. But if you look at like the middle spine as we flip through this book, I guess here's the preface. You can just read. This is the idea of the game. Somebody sent us this book in order to help us determine what happened on the Obra Dinn, and it's just kind of a quick jump to get a place to put all of your information in the game. The beginning of the book has some information that you might find helpful. There's a map of the Obra Dinn's journey. It was on its way to the Orient, past the Cape of Good Hope in Africa. It didn't make it there, obviously. We have a map of the ship. This is the deck layout. 4 decks, plus the forecastle here, the captain's quarters and all that. Here is a crew manifest of all of the souls aboard. There were 60 souls aboard the Obra Dinn when she vanished. And our job is to put a name to all of these faces. All 60 souls. And determine what happened to them. What was their fate? So that's our ultimate goal in the game. And then the rest of this we're going to fill in as we go. But look at the middle of the book and how like the spine of the book moves as it gets further back. I didn't notice that the first couple times I played the game, and I really appreciate it now that I see it. Oh, it also has this very helpful glossary. In case you don't know anything about 19th century nautical terms, it's all here for you. So you can tell the difference between a purser and a surgeon and a seaman and a topman and a midshipman and a steward and what the heck is an oarlock deck. Okay, cool. So we got a book. We've also got a magic pocket watch Memento mortem. Remember death. And death is the theme of this incredibly cheerful game. So, this brings us to the second interaction. Our first interaction, I guess there's 3, because it counts as an interaction climbing up this ladder. But we won't have to do that again. There's no inventory. You don't move boxes around. There's no teleportation mazes. All you do is you walk up to one of these gross skeletons, and you whip out your magic pocket watch. And
Captain! Open the door! Kick it in. Ah! Lest we break it down and take more than those shells! You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
ooh! So here we are in a snapshot, a moment in time. The exact moment of this poor man's death. This is the gross skeleton that was laying on the deck. And this is how the game presents all of its clues. You got these little snapshots. Every time you find where somebody died, you can go to the last moment of their life. This fool up here looks like he's running away. He's going up topside. In fact, you can actually trace the trajectory of the ball out of this gun and through this poor man's, right through the neck, got him. And then it comes and lands back here. So very detailed, although the graphical style gives the game a level of abstraction that makes it very unique. So you don't have to like labor over like the colors or like the tiny details on things. It's kind of a shorthand for the game telling you, hey, everything that's going to be important in determining these identities and fates is going to be pretty easy to spot in these scenes as long as you pay attention to what you're looking at. Don't get bogged down in just the minutiae of it all. And having seen this death scene, we pencil it in as Chapter 10, The End. So you start at the end and you kind of work backwards. Chapter 10, Part 1, outside the captain's quarters. Excuse me. So identify the person who's dead. Who is this? How did they die? We have here the log, the last few things that he heard before he died. Wherever you see an X, this is the dead man speaking. He says, "Captain, open the door!" Which is in itself a clue. Now his face is still blurred. And it's going to yell at me. It's going to say he's still blurred. Because you don't have enough information to identify this person yet. Once we have enough information, his face will come into focus and we'll be able to put a name to it. And when you have all 60 names to all 60 faces, by the time you've seen all of these like death snapshots, everybody in the little map will be unblurred. And it shows you who is present in the scene. So this man's still blurred, and he's still blurred. And this is the guy that was going up over the top, and he's still blurred. But this man is no longer blurred because we know who he is. Before he was shot, he yelled, "Captain, open the door," and this can only be the captain. Yeah, this is what I'm just explaining. He's in focus now. And the first time I played this game, I had to revisit a lot of memories over and over and over and look for little clues and use process of elimination to determine who is who. And that's the main gameplay loop of the game. That's where all of the game's puzzle-solving elements come from. But we know this is the captain. Captain Robert Witterell. He is correctly identified now. And as far as this poor guy, I mean, we don't know who he is, but we know what happened to him. He was eaten. He was eaten by the captain. Poor bastard. Yeesh. Alright, Captain. My goodness. Well, it's very gruesome of you. Things don't seem to be going very well if you're not a captain aboard the Obra Dinn. I mean, he did get stabbed in the shoulder by this wooden stick. But, I mean, don't bring a stick to a knife fight, my friend. It's not going to go well for you. By the way, he's still dead out there. This guy's still dead. Yeah, very thoroughly eaten. So, I mean, pretty obvious to me. Eaten by Captain. It's too bad. Really too bad. Yeesh. Tenderized, then eaten by Captain. Ah, sorry way to go, my friend. Oh, yeah, if you highlight the guy, it brings you directly into the book, which is very, very handy. If you just want to identify somebody quickly in a scene. Still don't know who he is, but, I mean, we saw him get eaten by the Captain. So, hungry, hungry man. Yow! Well, I guess that's one way to tenderize a woman before eating her. Not particularly humane, but man's gotta eat. My goodness, Captain pulled this guy apart like a crab leg. I mean, I guess if you just want to eat the insides of a man, that's the way to do it. Ugh, the Captain got those guys too. Is there no end to his appetite? Sometimes the Captain wants to eat a crewman, but can't finish them all at once, you know, has to heat them up later. But when you leave them in the microwave too long, this tends to happen. Doesn't even look appetizing anymore, if I'm being honest. A third and somewhat less efficient way to tenderize a potential meal, I guess, squash him with a cannon. Hey, whatever works, right, Captain? Kablamo! My goodness. I'm not even sure why you would do this to a potential meal. It's like a cat and mouse thing, how you need to play with your prey somewhat, or I guess in this case scutter them completely with grape shot before eating them. Captain's a sick man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know who this poor guy was, but it's pretty clear what happened here. We'll pencil him in. Part 4 of the Doom. More like the dinner. Am I? Wait a minute, who's this guy? I didn't see him in this scene. I mean, we know, well, we're going to identify him later, but I mean, we know he was eaten. That much is clear. I just have to assume this guy was eaten too. That just... I mean, the game said we'd have to use process of elimination a little bit, so yeah, we're going to go with cannibalism for the Baldyman as well. Now this man here, at first glance, it looks like maybe he's getting crushed by this cannon, and that is on the list. We can pick crushed by cannon, but what they're really after here is like each person's ultimate fate, and I mean we already know how that goes, so yeah. What's for dinner there, my friend? Now this isn't the captain, this is one of his mates, and this is something you kind of learn as you play the game, that the mates dress like this and the stewards dress like this. But looks like they're about to go have dinner, and I wonder what's on the menu, so I guess we'll just take a walk back into the, I guess this is like a little kitchen area where this man is preparing some food. Then back beyond here we have the privy where, this poor guy. I mean, eaten by the captain with his pants around his ankles out on the poop deck. Oh, that's why they call it that. Sometimes the game throws you a curveball. Like if we look over here, we can see this man getting tenderized by somebody who very clearly is not the captain. But it's kind of like an assassination plot. Like if you hire an assassin to kill somebody and they do in fact die, you are culpable for their death. So even though this man is the tool by which the deceased is tenderized, we must still put the fate in correctly. Eaten by captain. There we go. Alright, let's see here. Whenever you don't actually find somebody's body aboard the ship, it puts them in this like disappearances section. And it's just kind of busy work. You just kind of have to go in and plug in the information that you already know. This one chapter, the Doom, is the most lengthy of these. I'll probably just end up cutting some of this out because, yeah, all these people just disappeared during the Doom. But it's obvious what's going on here. So I just got to spend 6 or 7 minutes plugging all this in. I'll just cut this out. I'll see you guys on the other side of it. There is an awful lot of blood on the floor here. Well, so sometimes you get memories like this where we don't have enough information. Like, we know this man died, but we can't really tell how in this particular memory. There will be a memory later where we'll actually see his cause of death. You gotta kind of put information from two disparate parts of the games together. Here we go, same principle as before. We have another hired tenderizer man here, and this guy very clearly was later devoured by Captain Witterell. But more to the point is, because we're a few seconds earlier in time, we can go along here. This man has not quite made it into the room yet, and we see a knife in his back. Probably he's already pulled the fork out, but I mean, that clears that up. That's pretty cut and dry, I think. Here we have a rare glimpse of Captain Witterell, his many meals weighing heavily on him, but that didn't stop him from ordering one of his officers to go below deck and slaughter some dessert. It's a sad fate, but eaten by Captain. You know how sometimes you just can't shake a craving for chicken nuggets and you go to McDonald's like 3 or 4 times in a week? It's kind of what Captain Witterell does. Like, he went through a phase where he wanted all of his meals shotgunned. What could they be talking about in there? It sounds like the captain's going around eating people. And glory be, he already ate this man's arm. I wonder if he's coming back for the rest of him. I'm wondering if he'll be coming back for me. Come back here, boy. Captain's not gonna go hungry today. Pretty sure what's happening here is this man is trying to take this woman to safety because the captain sent this guy to capture her so that he could eat her. And didn't go well for him, and so the captain punished him by eating him instead. It's a cruel, cruel world, but that's what life was like aboard these merchant vessels back in the early 1800s. It was just cruel and very, very hungry. Here we have a great example of a parallel story because we have this shiny, shiny treasure in this room, and what's going on in here is important, but 2 feet away down the hall, we've got the captain eating this guy. So let's just mark this first, and then move on with the parallel story. I like this scene here a lot, because you actually get to visit the memory that matches this sketch in the book, where they have the firing line. But what's actually happened here is this is a man the captain has already eaten all of the best parts of. So we'll just go ahead and put that in. Eaten by captain. And then in order to cover up the evidence, hung him in this bag and framed him for murder. Captain, have you no shame, sir? We have this blood trail here down along the port walk. And the dead man here, it's not really clear what may have caused his injuries. I mean, I know what I'd put my money on, but we're going to have to follow him back through the timeline a little bit to figure out exactly who got this poor soul. This man is unblurred, which tells us we have enough clues to determine his identity. I think I'm going to worry about that later. I'm not really sure who he is yet, but we know what happened to him, at least. Eaten by captain. Okay, that's cut and dry. And oh, here's the... because we're a few seconds in the past now. Here's that blood spatter we've been following around into the port walk. Yeah, here he is. Looks like somebody took a big bite out of him, almost. I mean... trigger warning, this one's particularly grotesque, so, you know, close your eyes or turn away if you have a soft constitution, but, welcome to Captain Witterell's barbecue. Ugh, my goodness. It's just no way to go. It's just really no way to go, but let's check on our crawling man back here. Oh, he's over here. He's the other direction. Whoops, I get turned around real easy in this ship. Yep, see? That's the captain's dinner spike in this poor man's back. So we've solved his murder as well. Oh, looks like I got some disappearances I haven't taken care of. I mean, this is easy enough, though. Eaten by captain, and you were eaten by captain. Yeah, here we go. We see the dinner spikes flying. So this guy here, he's currently in the process of being eaten by the captain. I think this guy is the butcher, and this guy here is either the baker or the candlestick maker. I'm not sure, but I mean, you can tell he's gonna get eaten by the captain too, because I mean, come on, follow the trajectory of this dinner spike here. It's only a matter of time, buddy. I'm sorry, you've made your last candle.
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
Yeah, where's the rest of this guy's leg, Captain? Looking pretty, well fed today, I would say. Sheesh. I mean, this one's nice and easy, though. They named the guy for us. So not only do we know he was eaten by the captain, we also know who he is. Here, John Davies, 4th mate. Identified. Got him. Yeah, more dinner spikes. This one's a 2-for-1. Sure sign the captain's been here. Yeah, sure enough, here he is. I mean, it is a puzzle game, but every puzzle game sometimes you have to give the player a freebie, you know what I mean? Just to make sure that their morale stays up. They give you an easy one now and again, just to keep you moving. And so here, at the deepest level of memory, we come to the gruesome truth at last, that when the captain hasn't fed in a while, he turns into the fearsome were-mermaid, which, I don't know, kind of turns him into a sympathetic character? A little bit, like it kind of explains why he has to eat 60 people.
Boy! In there somewhere! Storm's coming! Finish your business and climb down here!
Yeah, I guess that's all we need to do here. Let's just do our last minute check. Just make sure that we're not missing anybody here. Let's see. Eaten by our Whittle. Eaten by our Whittle. Oh, we didn't mark him here. Yeah, we know he was eaten by the captain. There we go. Eaten by Whittle. Eaten by captain. Eaten by captain. Eaten by captain. All these guys were eaten by the captain. The guys down here dicing, all eaten by the captain. Yeah, these ladies up here were eaten by the captain. There is like another chapter we have to play after we check all this, so we actually haven't confirmed that this guy was eaten by the captain yet, but we will shortly. Formosan royalty, yeah, they were all eaten by the captain. Here we got the whole firing line here. This all looks good to me. Eaten by captain, these all guys were eaten. Everybody here down, and the artist was also eaten by the captain. Alright. So that's that. All that leaves now is to go back into the captain's room, now that we know what happened here on the ship. And so, Captain Whittle, last man aboard the vessel, last man aboard the Obra Dinn, rather than suffer the slow death of starvation and transmogrification back into one of the horrible, horrible were-mermaids, decided to shoot himself. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, he suicide by gun. That's correct. Yeah, that's everybody. That's everybody on the ship eaten by the captain. So I guess that means we can leave then. We're done here. That is all of the identities and all of the fates of the crewmen of the Obra Dinn. So yeah, let's hop down and finish this up. Chief Inspector, I write to you with unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away. He succumbed to his illness shortly after receiving your package. Although his health was generally poor, receiving the Obra Dinn book in such an incomplete state further disheartened him so thoroughly that he was able to recover. He used his final moments to express the extreme regret he felt with entrusting such a remarkable task to you. We thought you should know. Regards, Jane. Wasn't Jane Bird eaten by the captain? I must have got some stuff wrong, but I can't imagine what.